Howdy folks, I hope you're doing well. Today we're going to be checking out Qix from Numskull and Quarter Arcades. But before we crack open the box and check it out, let's roll back a little bit. Let's get some history of one of my childhood staples. What you're watching here is excerpts from Todd's Video Games and More. It details the process of restoring his Qix cab. A link to it and other sources can be found in the description below. Qix was developed by husband and wife team Randy and Sandy Pfeiffer. It is one of only a handful of games made by Taito's American division. Another one of those American contributions was Elevator Action, which we'll be checking out at a later date. Qix was released in October 1981, and it became a commercial hit. Electronic Games reported that it exceeded expectations and it became one of Taito's most popular titles. Until it wasn't, and that's when the conversion started to occur. Some became Mr. Do, others became Rock and Rope, which is what Todd's was converted to before it was converted back to Qix. Qix was ported to many consoles and systems over the years, one of which was the Atari 5200. I played it incessantly as a kid, but I was never really good at it, and that was part of the problem. The game was extremely difficult, which is why a majority of the cabinets didn't survive. It also made its way to the Commodore 64, the Amiga, NES, Game Boy, and more. Alright, I'll stop rambling about the history. Let's check this thing out. I was able to pick this up during the Thank You 50 sale. I believe that was back in November. The prices, in my opinion, were beyond reasonable based on what they normally cost. If I remember correctly, it was something like $125 plus shipping. For me, it was a no-brainer. The box that the Quarter Arcade comes shipped in is extremely durable. There's some very minor damage on the outside of the box, but that's what it's for, right? To protect the goodies inside. As you can see, the cabinet and its packaging slides out of its protective sleeve, so to speak, fairly easily. Let's speed things up so we can get that protective packaging out of the way. The quality of the box, in my opinion, is worthy of displaying in and of itself. Speaking of displaying, check this out. I thought it would be a good idea to toss it up on a carousel so you could check the whole thing out. Some of you guys might think this is a little overzealous, but I thought it would be the best way for you to be able to see all sides of the packaging without one of those herky-jerky, let me spin it all by hand kind of things. If you think it's silly, let me know in the comments. Your feedback is important to me. Alright, let's open this sucker up. We'll kick it into high speed here so we can get to the good stuff. You'll notice that there's a USB-C cable on the top of the packaging there, but we'll talk about that in a few moments. Our cabinet comes in a pretty thick plastic bag to protect the machine from any scratches or damage that may occur in transit. Getting the box out of the way here, we can open it up and get our hands on it. This took me a few moments, so we're going to go ahead and speed it up again. Setting it down on the bar top here, you can kind of hear that it lands with a thud. It's got some weight to it, and it feels pretty good. It looks pretty good, too. I don't know if you noticed that reassuring nod. Here's another quick carousel shot of both the packaging and the machine itself, just so you can get the full effect. I don't know, I kind of like this carousel maneuver here. If I was putting these in a display case, I would probably set them up this way. What's either a blessing or a curse here about these carousels is one remote starts them all. So if you had a bunch of them, it would kind of be fun to start them all up at the same time. Okay, so let's talk about what else is in the box. We have this USB charging cable, plus some leaflets in this bag. Inside the bag, we have a warranty card that contains a QR code, another sheet here that has a QR code to join the Facebook group, and lastly, an instruction manual that comes in 7 different languages. Now let's talk about the thing that you guys came here for, the cabinet itself. But before we do that, this for me is one of the most satisfying parts of getting this machine ready. I have no idea why all of a sudden it got so bright initially. I tried to filter it out, but I just don't have the chops in DaVinci Resolve. Anyway, for me, removing the protective sticker is one of those oddly satisfying things. I don't know why, but it is. If only there was a subreddit for oddly satisfying stuff like this. Looking at the front of the cabinet here, we can see they really paid attention to every detail. The cabinet itself is 17 inches tall, 6.5 inches wide, and 8.8 inches deep. The plastic light-up coin door is very intricate, and it's replicated flawlessly. The rubber-resistant graphics are textured and are very high quality. We have a very nice 4-way joystick and 4 very well replicated quarter-scale buttons. The TFT 5-inch 4:3 ratio screen includes what appears to be a lens overlay that gives us that proper aspect ratio and that CRT look. The speaker grills here are arcade accurate and contain 3-watt speakers. And check out this marquee. I think it looks fantastic. Flipping around to the back here, we've got a volume control dial, a USB-C connector for charging, and an on-off switch. It's worth noting here that the indicator light only turns on when charging. It will not turn on when firing up the machine. It's a shame that we don't have the ability to plug in a controller or have an HDMI out, but as I understand it, that's due to licensing constraints. You'll notice after looking at the front and back here that there are no metal parts on the machine, only wood and plastic. Aside from the screws holding it together, of course. Taking a look at the side art here, you can tell in '81 they weren't really interested in any flashy side art. It's pretty basic. Could they have done something more? Sure. But then it wouldn't be arcade accurate, which is what they're really going for here. For what it is, it's very clear, clean, and tight. Alright, so let's fire this thing up. The backlit LED marquee looks great from all angles. There's no hot spots or washout whatsoever. I sped up some of the boot sequence here so we can get to the attract mode. Our quarter scale machine here is running the original ROM, so we're going to have to add credits. All you need to do is press one of the buttons on the coin door to add them. To access the dip switches, hold down the player 1 and 2 buttons while turning on the cabinet. Continue to hold down the buttons during the boot up process and the dip switches screen will automatically appear. There's not much here. Infinite lives, stop skill timer, and no spark timer. They're on or off. No fuss, no muss. So let's check out some gameplay. This is the first time that I fired up and played it, so let's see how this goes. I still suck. Okay, who wants to play the game of Let's Void Our Warranty? Excellent. After removing the screws, it takes a little work, but then you can pop off the back of the cabinet here. As you can see, the wood is pretty thick. Hence the reason why it's got so much weight. It basically looks like an arcade 1-up on the inside with a battery. It's really tough to get in here with the camera, even with removing some of the wiring. Here's a quick picture of the way back right-hand side where you can see the joystick. Check out how tiny and intricate that little guy is. After putting it back together, we're going to put it on the windowsill here to hang out with burger time. Overall, I'm very impressed and happy with this machine. This is one of those cool desk or shelf tchotchkes that's fun to play and a pretty solid conversation piece. The only thing that I'm honestly not loving is the MSRP. In my opinion, it's a little pricey. However, there are some things to think about when it comes to the price. Things like the fact that they're a smaller company. Manufacturing and import costs are very high, even more so now thanks to the tariffs. Then there's even those licensing fees. So you might be asking, should I pick this thing up? Well, that's for you to decide. I'm not here to tell you what to do with your money. Well, that's it for this one, folks. If you're watching on your phone, please give this one a swipe and a hype if you don't mind. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you didn't like the video, give it a thumbs down. Please let me know why. Subscribe and give me another shot. If there's anything you'd like to see me cover, please let me know. If there's anything you'd like me to change or think I could do better, again, please let me know. If you hung out to the end, thank you for sticking around. I just want to say I appreciate you. I appreciate your time. And as always, stay safe, be well, and take care.